funeral pyre. I'm the heavyweight champ, you can call me sire. Reviewing raw like a southern rap messiah. Crossing over lines like I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Flipping opponents like I'm Randy Orton. Dirty South flow, my words they be costing. Every verse I drop got them head nodding. Spit lyrical punches like a ruthless fighter. Got the crowd hype, I'm the crowd igniter. Breaking down the raw matches, no denier. Dirty style rap, I'm the Monday night supplier.
Hello, window lickers. It's us without Kevin. As you guys can see, the Chaos Goblin is not with us right now. But he is okay. He's dealing with an emergency. And hopefully he'll be back with us next week. So let's keep our good spirits up there for our brother Kevin Calloway and his extended family out there where he lives. And I hope everything's okay for you guys. So that leaves me and Grun.
What's up, Josh?
How goes it, my friend? How have you been?
I'm in good. I did just see something really disheartening. I love nu metal, and apparently Dave Mustaine from Megadeth is saying nu metal is trash and saying that he's glad that genre went away.
Oh,
that look, I love nu metal. Okay,
me too.
I love nu metal. How dare you, Megadeth? How dare you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we had our good friend there, Nick, chiming in. Nick, what's up? How are you doing? He's saying, what's up, fellas? LFG, let's fucking go. Get well soon, Kevin and fam. Yes, he'll be okay. We'll be keeping in touch with him throughout the show. And if we get any updates, we'll let you guys know. But yeah, Grun, it's funny that you say that because honestly, Megadeth goes down as one of my worst live concerts ever witnessed.
Really?
I went and seen the band Him, HIM, in Detroit, and it was part of one of their either their first or their second US tour. Anyways, it was during the Love Metal tour. I was really excited to go see it, and Megadeth was opening up. So Megadeth's up there on stage. First song is good. I'm enjoying it. Second song, Dave Mustaine takes the microphone and he slams it down on the stage. Like it was part of the song. Like he was going right with the beat of the drum. And when he slammed it, you heard a tss, and then you couldn't hear him the rest of the show of his. So it was nothing but drums, bass. Yeah. And it was like he did not take the time for them to come out and fix the gear or change it out or whatever happened. He didn't allow the time. So it was like the next 6 songs were just garbage. I was not excited about that. Like I'm there to hear Dave Mustaine if I'm gonna watch Megadeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And here's what I can bet what happened. He broke the goddamn microphone.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I've been to concerts where it seems like there was some technical difficulties, and you know what? Those lead singers, while maybe I could not hear them clearly, they didn't slam the fucking microphone on the goddamn stage. So I know they didn't do anything stupid. Or maybe they made, I don't, because I've worked with microphones before, and there have been times where it's like you have to hold the microphone at this part because it worked, because for some reason it works like that, even though it's not supposed to work like that. But
yeah,
it's like It's like I understand that technical difficulties are a thing, but when I hear you slammed a microphone on the ground,
Yeah.
part of the performance, I'm sorry. I'm not. If I find out that you said, "Hey, motherfuckers, why the microphone broke halfway through the show?" It's like, maybe don't slam the goddamn microphone on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, you know, while we're on the topic of this, what has been your best concert you've ever seen
Okay.
live, and what has been your worst concert you've ever seen live?
Uh, Best concert I ever saw live is
And
probably gonna have
what's
to
up,
be.
Lou? We see you there. And
Woo!
yes, Kevin is taking care of an emergency through a friend of his, so he'll be back next week.
Yep. Hopefully everything goes well. But my best concert, f- I was gonna say the Palm Universe concert, but there was technical difficulties with Black Veil Bride, so I'm gonna say my second time seeing Breaking Benjamin. They had Lacey Sturm and her husband open up on acoustic from her first solo album. Um, they had Starset come on after her with with a really cool light show. Seether, and then Lacey Sturm, Justin Hoffman, and the lead vocals from Seether. They each did a song with Breaking Benjamin at the end of the show.
Jesus Christ, that was
It was
a late 2000s fucking jack off fest there, man. Everybody's getting a dose.
yeah.
Jeez.
I gotta and there was a screw up. The lead vocals from Seether, I believe they were doing Dance with the Devil,
Mm.
and Seether he forgot that the second verse changes, or the second chorus changes up
Wow.
and you can audibly, you can hear him say fuck. I forgot. He even warned everyone before, like he doesn't know the lyrics to the song by heart.
That's awesome. What's up,
Yeah.
Dirty Dick Flair? And fans, go and check Dirty Dick out there. He will be with Sabu on Sabu Speaks tomorrow night, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Go check them out. That's always a good time. And also check out Lou later on tonight. He is attacking some more Elden Scroll. Is it Elden Scrolls?
It's Elden Ring. This
Elden
could
Ring.
and
Sorry, nerds.
hold on. This is important because this could potentially be the last time he attempts Elden Ring. He is on the verge of quitting. And to be fair, I don't blame him. If you've never played a Soulsborne game before and you don't have the time to spend a lot of time off stream getting used to it and learning the game.
True.
Actually, MJF, I'm a level 45 Padawan Warlock Knight, so you better watch your mouth.
How did I not see that coming?
You should have seen that coming. I set it up.
It was so blatant. It was so blatant. Of course it was.
Okay, Grun. So now we're at your worst
Yes.
concert. Or we're at your worst concert.
It's gonna have to be Winter Jam, the one I just went to. Granted, I can't say the other concerts I've been to like were amazing, but like they went better than Winter Jam. And it was just I only went to see Skillet, and I knew what I was getting into with a Christian concert. It's like still not my favorite.
Yeah. Well, that happens.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while you're gonna get those moments where shit just doesn't line up with how you want to feel. Mine's a little I don't know. Mine's a little difficult because there's so many that I've seen that are like considered gold nuggets today, like Pantera. I seen them with Dimebag on the last tour Dimebag was on. It was an amazing tour. I've seen Blind Melon, the resurgence of them, and the guy imitating Shannon, and it was wild. I've fucking stood in line for ZZ Top to sign a guitar, and they told me to get out of the way because they wanted to look at the boobs behind me. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, you guys have seen boobs across this planet. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not much that changes with them. They're pretty, but I get it. You're rock stars. And I mean, so I would have to say one of my most all-time favorite shows that I've ever been to was an ICP show. My very
Okay.
first one, because of the fans. It really, the show was excellent. The way they did their thing and all what they do on stage was fantastic. And the opening acts became some of my favorite. Blaze Your Dead Homie. I love that dude. That dude fucking, for some reason, he is just amazing. Imagine a 6'8" skinny dude up there that has zombie type clown makeup, looks like he's dead, with a Flavor Flav clock larger than Flavor Flav, like but he can flow, grun. Okay. And so I became enthralled with this dude, but it was so entertaining because the fan base that was out there. I mean, I've also seen Claudio of Coheed and Cambria in the middle of a thunderstorm with a lightning bolt going off behind him, and him telling the crowd we're all going to die together with the double guitar. And like that, what I mean, Grun. That's like a just an amazing moment that you have to be there to witness it. But worst is when I seen Live. Live, the band.
Okay. No, I don't think I've heard of them.
I can't even remember a song of theirs off top of my head. So I went because the girl I was dating in high school, she had an extra ticket. She wanted me to go. Well, I found out that Local H was opening up, and I was like, oh, fuck, I've always wanted to see Local H. So I go, and I'm really jacked to watch Local H, watch them, and then Live comes on, and all these people are so excited. 2 songs in, this dude starts talking about this imaginary ball of energy that he's going to throw out into the crowd, and he wants the crowd to throw it back. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. This is a thing to connect with the crowd. But then he pretended to catch it. See, now when you pretend to catch an imaginary ball of energy, you've lost me. You've peeled back. You've showed me how the sausage is made. I can't handle that. It just blew my mind. But Megadeth was definitely a close second.
Okay. Now, I do have. I've heard that the ICP fan base, the Juggalos, they got a bad reputation, is what I've heard. They
can
Okay.
have a bad reputation. It really depends on where you go. Honestly, I've been to a few shows, I've never had a bad experience. Yes, your Fago around voice. Yes. And Tony's saying Blaze was the best opener they ever had. He was. I thoroughly enjoyed his show. And this kind of sums it up. ICP always the best and worst show ever.
I've heard a few. I've listened to a handful of their songs, and yeah, they seem like if you want to have I guess the best way to describe it is an experience. If you want to have an experience at a concert, go to an ICP show. They definitely feel like they're either going to be the best thing, the worst thing, or the most bizarre thing you've ever seen.
And it's always mixed in a nice cool cup of whatever, and you drink it and you just have the best night of your life. And it's a good time, Grun. Trust me. Come.
All
You and Jones need to pack up and we'll go to an ICP show together. We could take Tony with us. I know he's going to jump on, and we'll go have some fun. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll paint our faces. We'll have a good time.
Oh, dear.
And you guys will be first timers, so they'll really enjoy you guys.
So I'm sure they will.
They will. All right, Grun. So you know how we've been trying to be more of a show and be like, a little more like, hey, we know what we do here. We're consistent. Look at us. So we did it. We got a fan out there who reached out to us, and they have a question for it's for everybody, but you know what? It's me and you here. It's a special night, Grun. So I'm going to give it to me and you because, you know, we're the original two on this show. We started it off. So we're going to get hit with, now I have to give you guys a trigger warning out there. This is a dingle clip. So if you have any ill will towards Dingle, we understand, but we have to warn you. You will see a stupid face. It's about to happen. All right, here we go, Grun.
Lou told me that he wanted me to ask the boys a question and he wanted me to send them a clip. Well, guess what? In Your House, Window Lickers, the Monday Night Raw preview review show with Grun, Joseph, and Kevin Calloway. I got a question for y'all. You got 4 wrestlers, and you have to get rid of one permanently. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Which one do you guys choose?
Whoa, chat.
That's right.
Watch your language.
Watch your language. I said it. But that is back at you, voice, for your show on Monday night. Make sure you ask.
You see that stupid goatee?
Oh my
Who
God.
walks around with a goatee like that?
I don't know.
Ugh,
I
sickening.
don't know. That man needs somebody. Or no, he needs to go somewhere else. We're so done with this guy.
Yeah, I'm so done with Dingle over here just crossing shows. We got Jones. He's denying the invitation. So
Damn.
he said no. We got Trev chiming in. Grunmeister, what the fuck is up? What's up, Trev? Lou laughing about this. Ken is chiming in. He's saying Drew's got to go. We got another Drew.
What?
Drew's got to go.
Whoa.
And Jones saying he likes Dingle better than Lou. All right, so let's talk about it. Grun, do you know where you're at with this lineup?
I do. And I did think about this earlier, and I almost talked myself out of my original pick. My pick is CM Punk because while he has been exceptionally influential on current wrestlers, the thing is, I believe that pro wrestling would be fine today if CM Punk if Phil Brooks never became a professional wrestler. I think professional wrestling would have been fine. I think they would have come up with a Shield anyways. And I think while their introduction may have not been may have not been in the same scenario, I think despite that, they would still put Roman, Dean, and Seth together. And all they would have to do is tell them to go out, destroy shit, whatever. Vince not care, but the fans, those 3 would have grabbed the fans' attention and would have made Vince think, oh, these guys are more than just bodyguards.
So CM Punk, that's who you're
I'm going
taking off the map.
I'm taking him off the map.
Well, we got Tony chiming in. He wants to hug Dingle with his shirt off. Nips and nips and telling secrets. That's what we do here on the Window Lickers. Grun, that is a bold statement, though, especially for CM Punk's second wave, his with the WWE and how well it has gone over.
It has. I'll give
but
him
I truly can see where you're coming from on this one. I really do. There's a good chance that all of the things would have naturally happened without CM Punk. But Grun, I'm a man of the people. You know this, you've heard this, you see it in the streets of Philly. They're always talking about, they're like, voice, he's so great. I wish he was here in Philly because it would make our city so much better. Yeah, you've heard it. I've heard you tell me about it. So you can look as goofy as you want to look, like you don't know, oh, what's he talking about? You know what I'm talking about. So here and now, I'm a man of the people and I'm agreeing with the people in the chat. I'm getting rid of Drew.
What?
And let me clear my throat. Okay, so listen. How many times do we have to give Drew the benefit of the doubt? How many times do we have to reset our expectations of Drew because Drew either gets in his way, courtesy of the storyline, or he's injured and he's not relevant to the story at the moment. And then he gets healthy and they interject him right back to where he left, right where he left off. That's where he gets put. And it's always at the top of the card. Now, let me ask you something. Did you watch last Friday's SmackDown?
Yeah,
I believe Drew was in a match, was he not?
I do believe he was. No, you know what? No, last Friday I don't.
What is the
Am
match
I?
that he recently did within the past 2 weeks? Uh, I don't think it was a tag team. I think he was going against might have been Jay. Might have been a tag team. It might have been a tag team. The more I think about
His
it.
last. Okay, yeah, it wasn't last. It wasn't last week. It would have been the week before that. I think he
Yeah, that might be right.
uh Drew McIntyre had a match against Jimmy Uso.
Okay, Jimmy Uso. Okay, so in the beginning of that match, he was fighting Jimmy, and he was still in his kilt, and there was 3 moves in which you could see right off the bat that it was him that made the mistake. There's, I believe, an Irish whip that tries to happen, and you see Drew's hands like slip away. The couple feet stumbles when he goes to pick a Big Jim up for a suplex. And then he gets the kilt off, and he just looks sloppy still. Go back and rewatch that match, Grun, and watch it with some eyes to where you can be in the middle of the road and you can just watch it to critique the match, not the people, just the match itself. And then I want you to tell me that you're still comfortable with Drew McIntyre up at the top. Because here's the thing, who else is coming up right behind him who kind of mirrors him in certain ways? For me, it's Damian Priest.
Okay.
And for me, Damian Priest, he seems a little more entertaining for right now because I've talked about it multiple times. Drew McIntyre, I didn't understand it. And like 2 resets ago, I was on the show with you and I said, I finally get it. I like this. That CM Punk storyline he had going on, I loved it. Me and you were really enjoying that storyline. And then all of a sudden it's right back to it again. Now, to me, he feels like a story that is being interjected as opposed to grown. It's not growing for him. It's like they have to push it. It's almost like what they're doing with Jade in a sense.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
that Jade's story of leaving was a main story. They made a main story around that for her reasoning of not being there. But let's just say it was an actual injury. Would they have really built a story like that around it? Or would they let it kind of go?
There's always a chance they would have just let it go, but I believe that they saw the opportunity to make a story out of it that would bolster her, that would give an opportunity for Bianca to potentially build up her stock again and create the opportunity that she's in now. And then that third star, whoever they were going to pick, in this case they picked Naomi, gave Naomi a chance to build up her stock even more. And now Jade and Naomi, they're on a crash course for WrestleMania.
Yeah. So all of that worked out because a majority of it was by design.
Mm,
Yes, did they realize that they needed to work with Jade a little more on things?
sure.
Absolutely. But they built a storyline around that in which they could do that.
Yeah.
Now, my question on that, stemming off of that, is where do you feel Drew is now? After hearing that, I know you still have to go. I really want you to watch that match
Hmm.
and watch Drew and the way it is. And I know some people say Big Jim is the same way. He's a little sloppy in the ring and things like that. But I noticed it majority with Drew. And I could be off. Maybe I was looking too critical at McIntyre. That's a good possibility. But from what I seen in that match, I know it kind of cemented my idea on him, and
Okay.
I'm just thrown in the towel.
Okay.
I'm not really caring if Drew is in a storyline or not anymore.
Okay. So I can definitely understand where. Okay. Understand like if it seems like Drew is kind of going nowhere, like I'm looking at maybe that's by design because I do believe that the long-term story is Drew becomes the champion again. I I believe that's going because at the same time, like we were talking, Drew is one of only two WWE superstars that are up for the Slammy for Social Star of the Year. And we all know that look, if you're great on the mic and great in the ring, that's fantastic. You're great on TV. But if you can get social media presence, if you can get people on the internet talking about you, because that is where WWE gets their idea of where everybody is on the card. Does someone need more work? Does someone deserve more time? What they try and gauge, and the opinion is Drew gets reactions on social.
Let me interject this though,
Okay.
because it follows what you were saying. But could some of that social media interaction be bought and paid for to push the storyline to get Drew to that point if they're doing that? Because what I'm going off of right now is purely the in-ring work right now, and what
Right.
I seen does not add up to me giving him my time or energy for this. But I see where you're at. I just wanted to interject that
Okay.
if if they are pushing the storyline, they're creating this world for Drew, could there be a chance that they paid for some of those social media
I
spots?
am. I absolutely believe that there is that possibility because, in comparison, I'm just gonna mention AEW real quick. Chris Jericho recently had an interaction with a young fan who I guess is some young girl bodybuilder or something. I don't know, but it is coming out and being reported that AEW paid this fan and paid this girl and her family for that interaction on the live show, which like it felt very random. Didn't feel like AEW fans might, yay, we love it. But to me, it's like they paid this girl to say "f you" twice and to show her abs, and it's like that felt forced and felt like you're trying to make something happen that really
Mm,
doesn't feel natural. As far as whereas WWE, like let's say they are buying these reactions and buying people to react to Drew and Drew to respond. It feels a lot more natural in the way WWE is doing it.
yeah,
So it's like I'm not gonna say like, hey, I'm not gonna say like I'm a fan of that. I would definitely rather genuine fans genuinely reacting to Drew McIntyre and Drew genuinely responding in character or as Drew Andrew Galloway. But But I do believe that all this is leading towards Drew being forced to take time off after a loss to Damian Priest at WrestleMania. And when he comes back, we basically are seeing a Drew McIntyre that in his own way went through addiction rehab.
Hmm.
And he's no longer blaming everybody else. We see him coming back as the hero that we know he can be, as the great performer, the great under the as the fallen hero storyline is what I'm thinking. I mean, finally he has fallen from grace, and now he is truly working his way back up and earning his way back up, and is going to be the one to end the evil reign of Cody Rhodes.
Interesting. I kind of like the idea. I think it's definitely it kind of goes against what I was saying for a moment. It kind of says, that we're willing to do another reset with Drew. We're willing to go through that again and try to give him another chance. And I think if you play it right, like what you're saying, this redemption tour where he realizes his mistake, he realizes he was the one who was in his way, he was the one doing all these things, then I think I could get to a point where I'm good with that. I enjoy it. But it's going to take some things, and hopefully we get to that moment. I'll be interested in if we do or we don't. But like we always do here on Window Lickers, we're going to put a pen in that and we're going to see that one through because it is coming up for them. Okay, so Grun, what do you got going on for your discussion?
All right. Well, I want to discuss. It's a little bit of a twofer: the Intercontinental Championship and the Judgment Day, and how they fit into it. Now, it is now being the Intercontinental Championship match is now being rumored to be on the line at WrestleMania in a fatal 4-way match with Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Now, it is. Now, what I am wondering is this where not only we see a title change and Penta becomes Intercontinental Champion, and is this where we see the final implosion of the Judgment Day?
So you're thinking it's either or?
I think it could be both or one or the other.
Okay, so both or one or the other. What do you want as a fan? And then what do you want as a podcaster?
As a fan, I definitely want this match, but I don't want to see Braun lose the Intercontinental title this way. It's like I'm thinking if Braun's losing the Intercontinental title, he's going to lose it one-on-one against someone who pushes him to his limit, and Braun can't get to level the other person went to. I can definitely see Penta being that person, but in a more hard-hitting one-on-one match that goes 20-30 minutes.
Okay. I like it. I see where you're at, but I'm going as the average fan's logic. Okay.
go ahead.
Let me go with you on that one. So average fan, if I'm just viewing it and I'm looking at Braun Breaker, nobody on this roster is even touching him. In my
No.
opinion, nobody is touching him.
No.
And the only logical way for him to lose his title is in a match like this, in which there's so many things going against him that the possibility of his brute strength uh, isn't as big as a factor as it would be in a one-on-one match. Now, I almost don't want to say who I think is going to walk away with this title, but I honestly think they're going to put it on Dirty Dom.
I can see it.
I really do, man. And then that splits up Judgment Day.
No, yeah.
Because Finn just cannot handle it anymore.
As a podcaster, I as an unbiased viewer, Finn is the only one I see with no shot of winning. And that is because I do believe that this is another case, just like Drew. This is where Drew and Finn, they gain more by losing than by winning.
Well, that's very interesting that you bring up the Drew and Finn similarities, because I'm there with you. How many more times are we supposed to care about Finn Balor? I mean, I do enjoy him, though. I do. I like when he's doing something, but it's like hit or miss nowadays.
It is.
And every time it's going to be, one of the team members is going against him. Like,
Yeah.
are we going to continuously play this? So then again, he's getting in his own way. It could be interesting if Finn loses at Mania and Drew loses at Mania, and they both go away for, let's say, a couple weeks. It doesn't have to be a long stint, right?
Right.
And then they come back with a whole new avenue to go through. I mean, obviously Finn would be instantly in some type of match set up with who's ever in Judgment Day or who's ever left over from that. I mean, I could see him and Carlito. I could see him and Drew starting a faction. And like almost having this, like, picture this. Picture them gone for 3 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
And then we start getting these promo packages. And what you see is like an insane asylum door. And you see it slowly open. And it's all in black and white. Okay. And then you see smoke coming out of that. And the camera is slowly going closer and closer to this door. And then this door slowly opens up wide. And what you see in there is a figure, but you can make out the face. And half of it's Finn and half of it's Drew. And they're both doing some just sickening, dead-eyed stare, like ready to murder. Something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it won't work. Maybe it would. Who knows? Maybe they'll split just have Finn do his own thing and then he's retiring in a few years. I don't know. We do have Tony chiming in, though. He wants Braun to get rid of that terrible name. Lou's saying Dirty Dom would be crazy. Lou's also saying, I love Finn, but feel he would be very missed since Rhea and Priest left.
Yeah, so I believe that there is a plan to bring Demon Finn Balor back, and I think I was thinking that it was going to be Aleister Black that was going to be taking over the Judgment Day, but now it appears that Aleister is going to be on SmackDown, so that would mean that. So I think if there is a plan for that, what you're planning, like, it kind of makes sense. Finn finding a new family finding a friend, someone who understands him. They come back together. Maybe Drew betrays Finn, and it's out of nowhere. Finn now all of a sudden he has to rely on himself again, but he is overwhelmed by rage and anger, and that this rage and anger takes him out for a little bit. He comes back and gets a shot at the Intercontinental title that's still being held by Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And all Dirty Dom knows is that he's facing Finn Balor. And maybe we get one video package from Finn and saying, Dom, you took everything from me. I'm now going to take everything from you. Only, or somewhere in the line, he puts in the hint, beware, learn, you don't learn to conquer your demons, you learn to control them. And then Dom, they let Dom come out first, because Dom's like, I'm the Intercontinental Champion, just like my daddy, Eddie Guerrero. Bro. And he's sitting on he's sitting on one of the corners, just like Eddie used to. Lights go out. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. The heart beats.
Yeah.
And this is already been built up that last time Finn Balor just brought the demon back because money. This time he's returning straight up as the demon.
Yeah. I like it. You're giving it a full circle to the whole story and making it his choosing to do this.
Mhm.
If we could go back to the promo package though, that you have with Finn, I would like him to be like, you remember when the old IC title got thrown into the river?
Okay.
You remember when that happened?
Nope.
Oh,
I
I believe this is between Austin and The Rock.
That's why I don't remember.
Yeah, it got chucked in the river. So I'm
Okay.
picturing Finn, and he's got a burlap sack, and before the camera leaves Finn and what he's doing, you see Ray's head sticking out of the burlap sack, and then Finn pushes it down and he ties it up. And then he's like, you took everything from me, Dom. I'm taking everything from you. Things you love and things you hate. And then he throws Rey Mysterio off. Oh.
No,
Why
Tony,
did I enjoy that so much?
Yeah, Tony, I completely agree with you. Because of how many losses the Demon has taken, like this time around, and I think it because Triple H is going to be in charge because Vince didn't get it. He didn't get the Demon is supposed to be this unstoppable demonic force. It is not something that Finn just brings out whenever special match. Like no, Finn brings it out when
Vince was like, can we make a toy out of it?
Well, yeah, but make it a toy. God damn it, make it a motherfucking toy.
Make the demon a toy.
It's like, no, Vince, the Demon King is supposed to be Finn's dark side, and he doesn't unleash his dark side because the dark side just takes over when it's pissed off at Finn for losing. His entire goddamn name. Finn is the first name of some mythological hero in Irish folklore, and Balor is the name of the Demon King. So it's supposed to be Finn Balor is the Irish demon warrior.
Spooky. You know who's the American demon warrior?
That's a good question. American demon warrior.
Goddamn Norris. You know what? You look like you could be related to Chuck Norris, Grun.
I'm not nearly tough enough. Chuck Norris would have he would have divorced me.
That beer?
What's that?
You got a fist in that beard?
Nope. No fist in this beard. No. No,
Window
unfortunately.
lickers, don't let Grun lie to us. We all know he's Chuck Norris's baby. He's a Chuck
Well,
Norris baby. Look at him.
well, he's never claimed me as his own, so
Chuck Norris never claims anything. You claim Chuck Norris. Gosh, Grun, come on. Why am I here teaching you about Norris?
because he's from a generation.
Please don't date me. Yes, we understand. I am like your oldest brother who
Yeah.
did 20 years in college and just kind of got brought back home because mom and dad got tired of paying for my college.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you full-heartedly on the Finn and your take on what Vince did with it, because he did ruin it. It was not something meant to be seen the way that we've seen it. And you know, that's always been a sore spot with Finn. Honestly, when Finn won the Universal title, I was so stoked. But then when he was, you know, we found out he was injured, that was like the biggest blow on that year. But honestly, what did we expect from Vince? Really? Like, this guy, seriously, he had when Cena was a full-time wrestler, he had a moment in his career where Vince McMahon would come in and use the N-word. He said it in front of Booker T. He said it like, what did we expect from this guy? Like, where were we at where we were like, why did nobody stop it then? That's my question.
So I'm gonna say very clearly, this is on those of you that watched WWE from the 90s, early 2000s, and earlier that. And here's why. Because now look,
this is like a 90% of our audience.
It's true. And here's the thing. I started watching wrestling in 2005 before Eddie passed away. So I only knew that he was possibly misogynistic, possibly a pervert. Look, this was 2005. Like that, there was, like, for me, there was not enough distinct evidence yet. Okay, but learning everything I've learned about the history of WWE, like, yeah, I don't think I think you can remove the word possible and probably and maybe from that sentence.
Well, first off, Grun, you're passing the buck. Okay.
Yes, I am.
We were led to believe it was a character. He had his son involved, he had his daughter involved, and his wife stood in the ring and acted like she was catatonic while he did all these things with these women. So we thought, wow, this is a character. This family is kooky. They're a couple of rascals. And then we get hit with a dose of reality. So who knows the world today? Because right now Vince is at the bottom of the poll. Linda McMahon is the head of education. Like, the world is, and we almost got Triple H to spit water at her getting sworn in. You seen it, Grun. He had that moment where he took that sip and he thought about it. It would have been so epic, but it didn't happen.
No, he realized it wasn't the time or place. And let's also not forget that we almost had Shane McMahon joining AEW.
We almost did. There's so many things happening right now with this whole family.
Like, I definitely think that we should have seen it, because you know what? You could make the argument that you couldn't see it, because at the same time, you had, with Bray Wyatt really being treated like how he should have been at the time, and you also had history of looking at Kane and the Undertaker, which you could say are similar in the same realm as the Demon King Finn Balor. That there was always the chance that Vince would know how to treat it. The problem was, I think the bigger problem was not so much that that it was a dark, spooky character. I think it was more that Finn, he dressed up a lot more. He had body paint, face paint. He wore a wacky hat and had armbands and shit. Like he looked more warrior-esque. He
He
looked
I see exactly where you're saying, but to me, Vince seen it as a gimmick. Finn sees it as a lifestyle, a way for him to continue his heritage, to
yes
continue something that is meaningful to him
to him.
throughout the indies, throughout his professional world of
Yeah.
wrestling. It was something that was special. It got taken and bastardized by a guy that, with all the genius that he had to create the world that we love, he was also clouded by a lot of disturbing shit. And that's where we got to do it. With this world, if we're going to continue to live in it, we do have to separate the art from the artist. I mean, honestly, if we go back in time, I had an aunt that walked in during the Kiss My Ass Club, and she looked at that, seen that, and she said, "That man's a pervert." And she walked out of the room. So should have listened to her then, should have probably wrote a story, but I didn't. And here we are. So, Vince, somebody's going to judge you, and it ain't me. And you know what, man? Good luck, because good fucking God, man. Like, you need help. But I'm glad we're in Trips era, because we're getting a lot of redemption. We're getting a lot of things that fans have been asking for a long time and never given. So I'm excited about it. This WrestleMania is shaping up to be a decent one, and it's going to be in Vegas. Remember what I said on the Sunday house party on Sundays, fans, at 12 p.m. Yeah, 12 p.m. Come join us. We have some fun there. We talk a lot of wrestling throughout the week. I threw out something. This is Vegas. A lot of these places are designed to give the illusion of things. They put on shows. They do a lot of things. I mean, I've seen people turn into a VW bus, and it was weird. You had to be there. But anyways, I'm just saying there's a lot of things that they're going to be able to produce and give us a great WrestleMania this year. So it's definitely something to check out. Keep checking us out. Grun, let them know where they can check you out and all the villainous you have behind those blue eyes.
You can check me out at twitch.tv/grunmeister, where every Friday I am streaming the SmackDown preview review show. Oh, that is 7 p.m. Eastern. And be sure to drop a follow on my channel, because occasionally I'm a sneaky streamer and I pop up out of nowhere, just like Randy Orton with an RKO, and start streaming some games.
It is just like that. Like when your drunken cousin sees you for the first time in like a couple months, and he just runs up and tries to RKO you, and then you're in the emergency room because he broke his arm, and everybody got sad. That's Grun. So go join Grun. Go see what he's doing. He has a fun time, and he will sneak up on you with a stream. But they're enjoyable, so click on that. Get all the notifications. Click the likes on this one. Subscribe to IYH in your house, where we do all the magic. And just like we did here every Monday, you can join us. Usually we have another guy with us, Kevin Calloway, the Chaos Goblin. Brother, if you see this, I hope everything's great. And can't wait to have you back here. And I hope everything with your friends are doing good. But 7 p.m. Mondays, that's where you can find us here doing what we just did. Such a fun time. Such a great time. We appreciate all of you out there. Tony, the Lou, everybody, House, Jones, everybody, Nick. Thank you guys for always making this Monday a fun time for us. But that's what we do here. Every Monday, 7 p.m., you can catch us talking about Raw. It's a fun time. We're a part of the In Your House and the Window Lickers. So join us. Also, I do a little thing on Fridays where we get extreme and we talk ECW. It's a fun time. So come join us. Come join me and House where we go extreme and we watch ECW. If you know me, you know that's what I love. I love a good ECW night, and that's a fun time. Me and House, we talk some great things, all ECW and all wrestling. So come join us. It's a fun time. Sunday is the last spot to find us. It's a Sunday house party. That's when anybody in the household gets together and they want to talk wrestling. That's where you can find us. And that's 12 on a Sunday afternoon. You know, you get some nice cucumber sandwiches, some Arnold Palmer's. What are other things? Some butterscotches, some, eggs, hard-boiled eggs. People eat those, right?
Yeah.
And you join us. You can have a fun time. Or if you're cool, get a pack of cigarettes, take your mom's credit card, and go buy yourself some nice shoes. Yeah, that's where we're at, Grun. I'm promoting stealing. That's what I'm promoting.
You know what they say? Yeah. You know what they say? Can't go to hell. You're already there.
Whoa, Grun, you rascal. Well, fans, friends, thank you again for joining us. Me and Grun truly do appreciate you guys giving us your time and spending moments with us, because that's all we got. And we will catch you on the next one.
Shadows creep in the spotlight's glow. Turning cold, now it's time to throw. Chains on my neck, but I'm losing the brain. Ghosts of smoke, twist dissolving my pain. End of the show, let the chaos unfold. Heart blacker than the night, ice cold. Crowd screaming, but